on a 6,500 square foot lot. You're in charge of the clicker. Oh, nice blue kitchen,
It's blue. It's blue and white.
blue and white.
Is the island of wood?
With wood, yellow
Table.
tables.
It's a butcher block island.
Ah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you can cut your vegetables up
I
on
look.
it.
That's interesting.
All right.
All right, what do you guys think?
Prices, Roseman.
All right, Zoom, you gotta participate on here. 449. 425, 445, 425, 455. Everyone mid-4 range.
How?
What do we got, Zoom? 750-375-495-475.
Alright.
Only person that can't play.
480.
480.
Am I close?
Only person that Mondo can't, yeah, Mondo can't play. Mondo knows the answers, so you can bribe him. 535, 460, 435, 440. You got a lot of the mid-4 range. A lot of
I
mid-4.
think it's that kitchen, kind of brought it down. a
I think the
little
kitchen did, yeah, I would have got rid of that
bit. Butcher
table.
block, Yeah.
And the blue.
Yeah. It looks pretty though.
I like it.
It's art.
It's artistic.
Yeah.
All right, actual price is?
449 exactly. 449 exactly. Anyone on Zoom? 495, no?
435.5. All right, 449. What's that music?
It's button's not working for some reason.
Okay, our second one up today is East Palmdale, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, built in 1989. RV parking, 1,100 square feet. There we go, 7,000 square foot lot. Got very nice curb appeal.
Nice curb appeal.
Oh, it's nice and fancy inside. It's nice newly
What?
flipped.
Oh, that's flowers. I was like, what is that on the side of there?
All right, small, no backyard, but it looks like it has RV parking. Could be a plus. 1,100 square feet.
It's a good starter home. I like it. All right, what are you guys thinking? 535, 460, 389, 415, 415, 435,
349. Good memory.
349,
Well, I don't know if it's
389,
Right.
520.
Where'd you know that?
480.
Don't show them. Don't show
It is
them.
too high.
They're cheaters. Let's see.
All right, Zoom. You
All
guys got
right.
your guesses in? Actual retail price. It's 455.
Man, I was way off.
I got 35.
460 over. What'd you get?
What'd you have?
435.
444.
444.
444. Anybody higher than 444?
Yes.
Did you get?
That's
did you
it?
guess
You got
That was Maro's
450.
listing.
Who had 450?
What was the price ratio?
You did, right?
35.
No.
No.
460.
460. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Prices.
All right. Last one.
All right, last one on the list today is West Palmdale, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, built in 2022, so brand new home, 2741 square feet.
Oh, look at that island.
Very nice home.
That's an island of dreams right there.
And the little fireplace.
Yeah. TV can go right there.
Can you
Big
go back to
space.
the first picture? Brand new build West Palmdale.
That's a huge house for it. Looks small.
I know where it's at. Whatever you guys think, and add more to it. It's over there, behind, yeah, it has to be, that's the only ones we have right now.
Just go 460 again, huh?
How many bedrooms was that?
Three.
All right, what are we thinking? 655, 645, 670, 609, 615, 589, 625, 515, 729,
555.
644, 700 on Zoom, 580, 575, 630.
Denver just sold that one.
It's a new build.
How is it?
Yeah,
I'm thinking like at least 7, 7, 710, 720.
taxes are really high over 100.
Where's that at?
This West Palmville?
Joshua, it's up here off of.
Oh, is that Joshua?
I think, I don't know.
Alright. Actual retail price, without going over is
Good job, Gary.
$7.15. Wow.
Yeah, that's you. All right.
It's just because it's 700. Cecilia got 700. Anyone closer than 700?
Anyone over 700?
700.
Cecilia?
Cecilia, congratulations.
All right, Cecilia.
Place it in her mailbox.
In your mailbox, waiting for you. She's like, woohoo!
All right, guys, well, thank you so much. As always, on track on the contract.
On track on the contract. Thank you, Shauna. As always. And thank you, Mondo, for always putting this together for us.
Yay, Mondo.
Hey, Mondo.
Yeah, Mondo.
All right, guys, we got a lot of announcements to go through today. Then we're going to be jumping into some strengths and weaknesses. You guys should all have a little paper in front of you on Zoom. You should have got an email earlier this morning, a text. It was through a text, and there's a link on the text. Check your phones. You should have a link on the text. They're going to post it in the chat. If you don't have it, we're going to go through it together, and that'll just be in a few minutes. Quantum Leap, hosted by Audrey Miller, Audrey Miller. They're going to be hosting Quantum Leap for all ages, audience for all ages. And they're going to be breaking it up into sections. The first section is Saturday, March 25th from 8:30 to 2. They're also going to be doing, I think we have some slides for it here in a second, some fundraising to help provide scholarships for Quantum Leap. I think it's the next slide. It is. Cause is seen for a good cause. So Monday, February 27th from 11 to 3, head over to Blaze just across the street. Blaze will donate 20% of the proceeds back to the organization. There's 2 ways to support. In the restaurant, bring this flyer and show it on your phone, or order online. So go get lunch and then help support the cause. And by the way, Blaze is pretty good. Blaze is way better than all the other ones. You get the spicy sauce, get some of the ovalini cheese, some Parmesan, some mozzarella.
All the cheese.
It's good. It's good stuff. 13 ways to promote your fundraiser. That's just them showing us how to do that. So if you guys support the good cause of Quantum Leap, just go get lunch. So Monday, we're all headed over to Blaze to get some pizza. Monday. That's this Monday, right?
Yes.
Yes. I just got back from family reunion. I have no idea what day it is. I have no idea what time it is. I'm like, today's Tuesday? Wednesday? Thursday? Oh my gosh. Monday. It's tiring, huh? For us that was there, you get back and you're like, whew.
Brain is like mush.
The brain's mush. It was
Good mush.
amazing. For some reason, the guest speaker, it made like really bad allergies come in the room. I was just like, the allergies are so bad right now. It was really, really, really good. Yes, we're all exhausted. Okay, must bring the flyer with you, so don't forget to bring the flyer. Our 2022 awards and cappers party, guys, we're going to be doing it all together on March 9th. Also, KW Cares, I have a slide for it next, I'll jump into that in a second. You need to RSVP for the event. We normally do sell out on this event, we fill up. We can only bring in so many people. So save your seat, come celebrate the awards. We'll be doing the yearly awards. We'll have a great, I think we're doing this more of an evening time.
Starts at 4.
Starts at 4.
Gambling starts at 5.
And we're going to be having lots of fun with gambling, casino night. So we'll be doing the awards in the beginning, then we'll be doing the casino night for lots of fun afterwards to celebrate everyone's success. Highest bidder, KW Cares, so pie and bake auction. We're going to be doing this at the event. Every year we have a lot of fun. We just ask that if you're a great baker, bring in your favorite baked item and we're going to auction it off. All proceeds go to KW Cares. We've had a lot of fun with this over the last few years, auctioning off those events. I know if you make some sort of coffee cake / cinnamon roll thing, I'm winning that thing. I like it.
You can always buy something too if you're not the best baker.
Okay, well bring something in bring in a cake or a pie or something. You don't have to bake.
Cute cookies.
All I'm saying is the homemade stuff tends to sell pretty good.
Yes, true.
So we all love some homemade deliciousness. Community committee. So we have a new committee, guys, that Michelle Pendergrass is bringing to Keller Williams Antelope Valley. She really wants us to help sell our own listings. So we're gonna be organizing as a group. If you wanna come and check out what they're gonna be doing, is March 2nd at 11 o'clock. The idea behind it is kind of get the caravans going again, showing off our listings to our agents in the office. We'll still see other Gavar stuff for Brokers Opens, but it's really just a good event for everybody to get together, show off your listings, go see other people's listings, and kind of bring that in as we do a group event to go see all the Brokers Opens. And hey, normally there's lunch at those things, so hey, win-win. So March 2nd, please come be a part of that, 11 o'clock, and they're gonna kind of planning out what that looks like, how are we gonna do that, how often we're gonna do it, probably once a month in the beginning, and then go from there. Lunch and Learn, we got Stacy, your home warranty doctor. Stacy's gonna be here, she's bringing lunch, we all love lunch. Home health care scores, coverage is needed, how to avoid commission, yeah, lots of good stuff. What you need to know to save your clients headache and money. So she'll be teaching stuff about home warranties on Monday, February 17th. So you're gonna have to go eat pizza,
Oh,
and then you're gonna have to come eat food from Stacy. JD, are you up for it?
all of it.
All right, JD's up for it. Here's a hack if you go to Blaze. You could order half the pizza for a lunch. It's $5. And half the pizza, $5. Get some water, save some money. All right. Boom, Ignite. Who saw the video that was posted on our social media yesterday? It was so good. It was so good. Mondo, great job on the video. Or Mike, I don't know who did it all, but great job both of you guys. Ignite guys, spark your career. So if you've been in the business for less than a year or less than 2 years, you absolutely should go to this. If you've been in business more than 2 years, you should absolutely go to this. Ignite is taught by our top agents, ALC, and our leadership. It's the fundamentals to your business. Fundamental pieces, everything that you need from your big why to setting up your database, to managing deals, to closing deals, to growing your team. It is going to be Monday through Friday from 1 to 3. But every morning, there's going to be a lead generation group. Jason and Juan are going to be leading the group because they are kick butt lead generators. Every morning, they are meeting together to lead generate together because together we achieve more. When we're by ourselves, we find excuses not to do things. When we're part of a group, we have a tendency to actually want to perform and do better. So it starts Monday. The first class is at 1 o'clock. Our very own Amy Constantine is going to be teaching the Big Why. It's a great class, so we expect that to be nice and full. That one's a little longer than the normal ones. That one's might go 3 hours because there's a lot to cover. Then after that, they're 2-hour classes. The lead generation starts on Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. So you lead generate in the morning. You go to class in the afternoon, building up the fundamentals for your business, taught by our top producers.
Will that be virtual too, or is it just in person?
It'll be virtual as well, just like how we do this. It's always better in person. You're not going to lead generate virtual. That's not going to happen. So come in person for the lead generation. For the classes, it will be offered virtual at the same time. What time March 2nd? What was on March 2nd?
Oh, I got it right here.
Oh, you got it? Okay. I just saw the chat. Okay. All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about strengths and weaknesses. So this picture. Marvin's not here. I was going to totally make a funny joke. All right, he just stepped out. So this picture, guys, is who here was a straight A student? A couple of you. Who here kind of struggled with school?
Still have my first beer.
Who was like barely in class?
Never shut
A little bit, right? So here's the truth. As a student, I was an okay student. I did okay in some areas. I struggled a lot in reading and writing and spelling. As you guys can tell, whenever I've taught something and I scribbled the words because I don't know how to spell it, and it's embarrassing. And I've never been as strong in those areas. I got in trouble a lot for not sitting still and being loud. Who would believe it? Who would believe it? Right? And it was a struggle. I would go to classes to help me learn to read, and I still am not a great reader. I would also say, though, that I'm very well read. I read every day. I read a lot. My wife showed me a TikTok or a reel, and it was like, and it said on the thing, when you laugh real loud, but your husband has a 3rd grade reading level and can't read the whole lines before it goes to the TikTok. And I was laughing, I'm like, you know how many times she showed me something like, you gotta replay it, like, it's not my strength. It's just not my strength as who I am, right? Here's the truth, those many highly talented, brilliant, and creative people think they're not, because the thing they were good at school wasn't valued or it was actually stigmatized, right? I'm great with people. I'm great with speaking. I'm great with interacting with different individuals. I'm not so great at the reading portion, right? So at school, I never felt that I wasn't not smart, but I was very self-conscious of the fact that I wasn't a good reader. I wasn't, like, having to get called out in class to read out loud was scary for me, because I knew, I'm probably gonna struggle a little bit, right? So there was some stigmatized about what that was. Now the truth is, I get paid for a living to speak. I get paid for a living to train and work with our agents, right? That disability, not really a disability, but that lack of strength in that area has never held me back from what I've done in my career. Not once, right? My poor handwriting, my poor spelling skills, and my slower reading skills have never stopped me from anything. In fact, a lot of that has led to me be really good on my social skills. So my social skills have propelled me through my life and have propelled me into positions that have always been exceeding, right? And I've always been able to exceed because of those things. So assess. Weaknesses are clues to our strengths. Thank you. Am I back? We're good. Okay, so here's human nature. So let's say I'm giving this presentation, and it's a killer presentation. It's so good. Oh my gosh, he's the best. But I got a big old massive stain right here on my t-shirt. It's big. It's sticking out. It's got 3-dimensional. It's got like hair, right? It's one of the best presentations you've ever heard in your life. But right here, about a quarter-sized nasty thing sticking out. What's going to be the talk when everyone leaves? The massive stain. 98% of my shirt is I hope I don't have a stain on my shirt. Oh my God, I probably have a stain on my shirt, right? But 98% of my shirt is perfect. But that 2% is pretty noticeable, right? Where does our brains go? To the negative. So let's say my daughter Colby comes home from school and she gets an A in reading, an A+ in reading, A+ in social studies, an A+ in everything, C in math. What's the tendency we look at? The C in math, right? Our brains kind of focus on what the negative is in the aspect. We go right to what's not the best. A+ in everything else, right? But we might focus in on the lower grade. We are led to truth by our weaknesses as well as our strengths. So these are my kids. This is Lincoln and Colby. I have another one, but Colby, when she was little, when she was about 10 months old, if you've seen it on my Facebook, I repost this video every time it pops up because it's funny to me. I had an Xbox that was sitting on the entertainment center, and everything plugged into that. It controlled the TV, it controlled the sound bar. So when I hit the button, everything turned on. You hit the button, everything turned off. And when she was about just under a year old, she was crawling over to the button that lit up, nice and bright, right? And it lit up, and she would crawl over to it, and she went to push it. And one time, in a very mean dad voice, I was like, Colby, do not press that button. And she went, and she kind of looked at me, and I was like, and she goes, ah! And she crawled back over to me. She never pressed the button, not one time. And she was sad that I did a mean voice. I was like, oh, I'm a good dad. The mean voice, this is great. I actually have the video, I recorded it. It's on my Facebook, I posted. You can go back and look at my videos, it's on there. It's really cute. Lincoln takes after his dad a little bit more. When Lincoln was about the same age, he crawled over to the little button lit up. I was like, get all ready, get my dad voice ready. Lincoln, do not press that button. Lincoln looked right at me. He gave me the middle finger. Boom, 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 boom. For like 6 months. No matter how trouble he got, he didn't care. He pushed the button. A part of me really appreciated the fact that he did. Because a part of his weakness of not being able to listen or follow directions is really a part of the strength is his curiosity and not always willing to listen to authority to see what happens. And at times it can be frustrating, but at the same time there's power in that, what he's doing, right? Same thing with my daughter. There's power in the fact that she's listening and following directions and she's willing to comply. There's strengths and weaknesses tied together. Make sense? Little punk. So what are your strengths? So in front of you, you guys have the very first page on the thing that we sent. Zoom, you have it in a text message. You also have it in the link. It's on there. You can click on it. We're going to do the very first page. So what you're going to do is you're going to check the box next to your strength. Choose your top 5 strengths. Rank them from 1 to 5. 1 being the strongest, what you're known best for. So you're going to go through and say, okay, what are these things? I'm creative, innovative, I'm organized and systematic, dedicated, flexible. And you're going to check 5, and then you're going to put them in order from what you think is your greatest strength down to your weakness. And I'll give you guys a few minutes to go through it.
This is easy. All of it.
Is there an extra one? Like, a paper pencil?
All the time. Yes.
Print a couple more.
Especially in this position.
No, they're going to print you a couple more.
I'll be right back. I got you.
You need some too?
Creative.
They're printing a couple, we'll bring them back to you. In the meantime, just look up here and take note, if you could read it. They're gonna bring a few more in for you guys.
Is there a handsome and humble spot in there?
Is that an extra one right here?
Handsome and humble are in there. Jenny?
Thank you.
Bam, what's this? 5, 1 to 5, right? Yeah.
1 to 5.
I did it. I was good in school, but after school I stopped.
You're the kid that pushed the Xbox button.
What passage is it? What's the back?
While we wait for those to come in, and you guys fill that out. I'm gonna see if I can find that video real quick.
Are you obedient?
I can be. I think I'm pretty good. Jason's
It's kind of challenging, huh? It's like, all these describe me so well. How do I only pick 5?
You did not do that for me. I'll get some. I'm more carrying it. That was me. We can share.
Do not press that button. No.
She was so little. Tell about it.
That was your mean voice.
That's the biggest cry I've ever seen. Do not.
Let's be clear though, she's my princess, so I'm not gonna get that mean.
So not mean.
Yeah.
That's how my husband threatens my kids, like, if you don't stop, I'm gonna speak to you sternly.
Yeah.
Sternly.
See, she was like thinking about it.
I wish I had the button up when Lincoln first, I wish I took a video of it, because it was, I remember it clearly as day, because that video was always cute to me, that she was such a good rule follower. And I remember it clear as day, he just looked right at me. It's like, and I was like, dude, you are a punk. But I really appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, we kind of got that figured out a little bit. Another minute?
Put caring on your thing for me.
We need like a bigger TV for just chat, Mike. I can't see it anymore. I'm not getting glasses. Not happening.
Don't even.
It's hard. Growing up, I've always had really good eyesight. I can see things people can never see from a far distance. Something weird's going on.
I can't read those. What it says.
Okay. All right. So let's do the same thing now on the next page. It's going to be our weaknesses. So check the box next to your weakness, choose your top 5, and then rank them. 1 being the weakest of the weaks.
Rebellious and that.
Right?
Was that meant to be there? Did I just mess it up?
No.
Okay.
Where did we need?
That's number 3.
Yeah, I'll probably need a new camera. Is this one easier or harder? Harder? Not confident people in the room. A lot of times people find this one actually easier. Because a lot of people, they dwell on what they're not as good at
Yeah, but
compared
if
to
you
what
have
they're
a
good
ton
at.
of them, it might be hard to choose maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these all are so me.
So many adjectives.
Humorless. Plain.
Silly, immature.
Oh.
So we're getting personal.
Coming through it in a couple minutes.
Nosy.
Dang, it's pushover.
How we doing, Zoom? You guys get through it? Zuhaili, you got yours figured out?
Oh, for sure.
All right.
Almost like this is-
Clara, you getting it figured out? All right.
What's the environment?
It means you bark a lot.
Patience at work.
Yeah?
Is this like general or is this related to work?
It's general. It's just you as a person. It will reference to work because who you are is who you are. At the end of the day, if you are someone who is timid and insecure in life, you will be timid and insecure in business. All right. I'm gonna move on to the next one here. So what makes us weird also makes us wonderful. What makes us weak also makes us strong. Except, weakness are strengths in disguise. You have to accept that. Your weaknesses are strengths in disguise. So let's take, let's call this guy Bob. Easygoing Bob. So let's pretend this is a story here. He's adventurous, he's easygoing, he's spontaneous. Bob, he doesn't need a house. He lives from friend to friend, sleeping on the couch. He goes to the next adventure, gets a part-time job just to pay for that next adventure, quits, does the next thing, living the carefree life. He has fun, he's easygoing, he's always doing what you see on TikTok and you're like, wow, that's crazy, or Instagram or whatever, right? Bob just seems like he's having a cool time. Let's meet, I don't know, Sarah. That's my wife's name, but she's gonna be like, why'd you say my name? Never mind, not Sarah. She's like, that's who you think I am. No, I'm just kidding. I just said Sarah because it's my wife's name, it came to me. Let's say this is, what's another girl's name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer? Jennifer. That's easy. Jen. Jen's structured. She's librarian. She's got her stuff in order. She's responsible. She went to school, got all the good grades, went to college. She's cautious. She does things slowly. She's really just making sure life is going as to what her plan is, right? It's who she is. Well, one day, Jen meets Bob. What happens? They fall in love. It's a love story, right? Bob's always been told his whole life he's too spontaneous, he's too adventurous, he needs more structure. He meets Jen. Jen's always been told her life that she's too structured. She's too responsible, she's too cautious. She needs to be more spontaneous, go do have fun. They see each other, what they've been told they should have their whole lives. What does opposites do? They attract. It's a love story. It's so beautiful. What happens 5 years from now? Marriage, kids. They hate each other. Oh my gosh. Bob, you're so impulsive. You don't take anything seriously. You don't want to settle down. You don't want to do anything. You're not easygoing. You're irresponsible. You're not adventurous. You're dangerous. You're always doing things that are going to get you killed. You're not spontaneous. You're just impulsive. You just do things without thinking. You don't think about me. Right? Guys, what's the difference of definition between spontaneous and impulsive?
One sing negatively.
Doesn't think about it.
They're the same word.
Exactly.
But when you say someone's impulsive, what do you think?
Negative.
A negative content, like context to it, right? Oh, he's so impulsive. Yet, they're like, oh, this is Bob. He's so spontaneous. Oh, this is Bob. He's impulsive. Ooh, watch out. It's the same thing, correct? I'm gonna put the definitions in here just to prove a point. Literally, in spontaneous is the word impulse in the definition. They really mean the same thing. What about structured? Oh, so inflexible. What about responsible? Controlling. What about cautious? Just fearful. All right? Oh, I love her so much. She's so responsible. She helps me stay on there. Ugh! She's so controlling. I can't stand her. I need my freedom. It's the difference of 5 years, right? And I think a lot of times in marriage, I do think opposites attract. I mean, this is just my personal belief. I've never read any study that says this. I just personally believe that God makes women and men different, and we all have our strengths, and opposites seem to attract. We become one, and our children can get the best from both and see those things. That's just what I believe. I do believe opposites attract. But when we're going through marriage, the things that we loved in the beginning, if you're married, for more than a year, or even a year, you know, I've been married 10 years now. Some of those things that you were endearing in the beginning become the opposite, right? You kind of look at it as a way where, oh man, like, my wife is structured, right? She lives a structured life. That's who she is. It's one of the reasons why I fell in love with her, right? I am more impulsive or spontaneous, right? And at times I could be in my head like, oh, you know, you're so inflexible in these things. You know what? Like, that's her strength. That's why one of the reasons I fell in love with her, because her structure helps me live our life together, helps us plan our future together, right? So we have a tendency to take these strengths and weaknesses that we find at time and make them into weaknesses or make them into strengths, and it's up to us to choose. Strength and weakness, they go together, right? Spontaneous is a strength, impulsive is a weakness. They're together. All right, let's do the last page. What we're going to do now is make a list of the top 5 strengths and the weaknesses that we identified in the other charts. We're going to put a check mark next to each of them in the chart. So you take your 5 weaknesses, your 5 strengths, you find them and put a check mark next to each other. So you're going to then circle the ones that match. Because if you're creative and innovative, guess what? You're probably chaotic and disorganized. There's a good chance that you are. So circle the ones that match, and if they don't match, look at the corresponding one that you found as strength, and do you see yourself in those things? If I'm an activist and revolutionary, I'm probably rebellious and radical. Not to be a political statement or anything, but let's pretend the mask mandate was still going on. The people that weren't wearing the mask, right? The people that weren't wearing the mask in the stores and they were being radical and they were being rebellious. And other people saw them as activists and revolutionary. Make sense?
Circle the ones that match.
Circle the ones that match.
Yeah.
And then go back and look and see the corresponding ones that you did. So if you found yourself to be blunt or rude as one of your weaknesses, does being direct and honest correlate? I'll use Amy as an example. She doesn't mind. Unless she does, she'll tell me later. Amy is one of the most honest people I know. And if you know Amy, you know she will be honest with you, and you really appreciate that. She will tell you if you have spinach in your teeth. She will not let you walk around and let you have spinach in your teeth. Coming with that strength is the weakness that people may perceive some of her times being blunt or rude. It just comes with the territory. If you're going to tell the truth, be a truth teller, and be direct and honest, some people are going to take that as being blunt or rude. They go together. Does that make sense? I think Amy would agree. She's honest. She doesn't have a problem doing that. Are you guys seeing correlations? Yeah?
Why don't I see?
We need another minute or two?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you another minute to kind of circle. Anyone want to share? Be brave?
I will.
All right.
I just have one match. The strength is direct and honest, and the weakness is blunt and rude.
Did you find the ones that didn't match those still kind of correlate to your personality?
Sort of, yeah.
Anybody else want to share?
I did. For me, it's humble, modest, and then the Then it's timid, insecure.
Okay. So,
And then the second is generous. And then pushover.
yeah. Oh, yeah. They go together.
No.
How are we doing on Zoom? Amy said truth.
I have one strength that I think I have. I think I'm flexible and adaptable, but I feel that sometimes I am looked at rigid and inflexible at the same time.
Yeah. Absolutely. For every strength you have is a weakness that comes with it. For every weakness you have, there's a strength that comes with it. So it's a mindset. It absolutely, at the end of the day, it's a mindset. He's like, oh, I'm so impulsive. Great, you're spontaneous. So you gotta think of this as a medication. All right, let's pretend I am doing something that's maybe taking me down a path that isn't best for my family. I know the prescription. I need to go talk to Amy because she will give me the truth if I'm not seeing it. But with every truth, there's side effects. And the side effects is I'm probably going to have my feelings hurt. Or I'm going to maybe have something that I don't want to wrestle through. But I know the prescription is needed. Right? I'm just using Amy as an example so I don't hurt anyone's feelings. She won't bet. I'm just using it as an example. But no matter what your strengths, think of them as prescription. There's side effects. If you are someone who is spontaneous, the side effect is you're impulsive. You're going to come home with that dog that you didn't tell your wife about. And she's going to be mad at you, right? Because you're impulsive. That's a part of who you are. Does that make sense? Strong people always have strong weaknesses too. Where there are peaks, there are also valleys. What makes us weird also makes us wonderful. What makes us weak also makes us strong. So appreciate. We succeed because of our weaknesses, not in spite of them. So appreciate who you are. Every limit is a beginning as well as an ending. So dyslexia, it basically hampers 10%, I think, of the overall population, right? People are dyslexic. They have a really hard time reading. Typically, people with dyslexia, if it's not diagnosed, we think in school they're what?
Not intelligent.
That was crazy. Maybe not as smart. They struggle with school, right? They're not going to go anywhere. And imagine in the days before we really knew how to diagnose dyslexia, they were considered dumb. They were, those are the dumb kids. They're not smart. They're never going to be anything of themselves, right? There's probably a few people in this room that have dyslexia, right? Whoopi Goldberg, famous for being dyslexic, really, really struggled in school. How did it work out for her?
Just fine.
Just fine, right? She had other strengths. Keira Knightley, by the way, 18-year-old self, like #1 with Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm like, I was in love with this girl. She was dyslexic, really struggled with school, almost dropped out, convinced her parents to send her to acting school. They didn't really believe in her. Until she was Pirates of the Caribbean. And a lot of other movies, right? She had strengths in other areas. This is the founder from IKEA. He was 16 years old when he started his first business. I forget his name off the top of my head because it's a long Swedish name. He started his business. He had to drop out of school. He was dyslexic, right? He built one of the world's largest corporations. Richard Branson, dyslexic. He was saying, strangely, I think my dyslexia has helped, right? Because he was able to then focus on his strengths to make his business as successful as it is. This is Paul Orfella, say his name wrong. He started Xerox. He's dyslexic. He was quoted saying, "I think everyone should have dyslexia." He hired somebody to read for him. As he started his company when he quit was worth $3 billion. A $3 billion company. He credits dyslexia to most of his success. Because he was challenged and knew his weaknesses in that areas, he focused on the strengths that correlated with that, right? What makes us weird also makes us wonderful. What makes us weak also makes us strong. So amplify. Exaggerate weaknesses instead of eliminating them. Jimmy Kimmel. This was when Jimmy Kimmel gave his presidential speech. He was invited to the presidential dinner, the Black Tie Affair. The most, obviously successful people in that room. And he's the comedian hosting the party. And Jimmy Kimmel gave in his speech, said, forget the teacher's name, it was like Mr. Pratt or something like that. He goes, "And Mr. Pratt, you told me if I didn't stop screwing around, I would never make anything of myself. Well, screw you." He goes, "Look at me now." He amplified his weakness. He was a goofball. He couldn't stay still. He dove into that, where he was never going to be successful, and became a very successful comedian. It was one of his strengths. He was told he was never going to make anything of himself because he couldn't take anything seriously. How could you amplify your weakness? Align. Don't try to fit in. Find the right fit. When I'm going to tell another story here, think about it. I think this is a negative aspect in the real estate industry, is a lot of times we say, go lead generate, just pick up the phone, cold call, door knock, right? The truth is, there's a huge majority of people will never do it or do it successfully. It's their weakness, right? Doesn't give you an excuse not to do something though. So find your weakness, your strength, and go do that at the highest level possible, right? Make sense? If you are not going to be good at cold calling because it doesn't fit into who you are, that's okay. But go find your strength and do that as best you can. So there's a company called, oh man, I'm going to butcher this, Specialist Stern, thank you. Specialist Stern. So what they found, the CEO of the company, his son was autistic. And he found that his son really concentrated on one thing. Very detailed, over and over in that one thing. Very hard, didn't like a lot of noise, didn't like the other stuff. It just tried, it's not, if you're autistic, you tend to fall into that category. And he found that, okay, they have a skill set. So he started hiring people with autism to be able to go through a coding program and computers to make sure things went right. Their production outproduced any normal person like tenfold. In fact, it was so popular, SAP started their own division of hiring autistic people to specialize in that need. They're debugging the code and they do it. Oh, that's their skill. They're great at it, right? So align yourself with where your skill set would be. So what should you stop doing?
Procrastinate.
So what are you doing right now that doesn't align with your skills, your strengths, and your weaknesses? And what should you stop doing? Affiliate. Partner with people who are strong where you are weak. Right? Back to this guy, he couldn't read. He hired somebody full time to be able to, he could read. It was just a big struggle for him to go through and read for him. Basically a secretary did a lot of that for him. Hired him. And to write. He didn't need to. I'd like to hire that person. It would be great. Organizations exist to make people's strengths effective and their weaknesses irrelevant, right? So in your businesses, where are your strengths effective and your weaknesses irrelevant? I know Becky just stepped out. She's looking to hire somebody. She's looking for someone who's really good at the organizational stuff. That's not her strength. She's great with people. She wants to go focus on that and go make more business, right? Hire somebody to fill in the spots where you're not. So we all know what this is. Leaning Tower, it's fallen over, Pisa. So in 1940, Mussolini constructed or hired his best engineers to go fix it. He was embarrassed. He thought it was a disgrace to Italy that they had a tower that was leaning over. Their engineers tried and failed. They could not figure out a way to make it stand. Thank God. Because of its inclination, the tower has been the object of very special attention. People go to Pisa just to see the tower. People travel to Italy just to see the tower. In fact, they estimate the amount of money that came in from that to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars for people just to come in to see the Leaning Tower. Right? It is important to keep the current tilt due to the vital role this element played in promoting the tourism industry of Pisa. We all got our tilts. And none of us are perfectly straight. We're all crazy. Right? So we have to digest what our strengths are and what our weaknesses are, and know that they're beautiful together. And then we have to also, your spouses, the things that annoy you, also makes you what you love about them, right? And think about how we're taking that in our business to apply. Some ahas. What'd you guys take from that?
It's okay to stand out.
Yeah? You can't leave until you guys all give me a couple.
You need to reflect.
Take advantage of your disadvantages.
Yeah, take advantage of your disadvantages, absolutely.
Yeah, so to not use your weakness as an excuse to not succeed. Because
Absolutely.
They are strengths at the very end of the day.
Yeah? Zoom? Anybody?
Leverage what your weaknesses are.
Yeah?
Hey, I'm rude.
I think too,
And I like it.
one thing I would just say as we finish up today is realize that everyone is who God made us all different. We're all different. None of us are the same. None of us are perfect individuals. We all align differently. We all have different things. And keep that in mind when something is maybe off-putting or annoying about someone's personality, is that leads to some of their greatest strengths as well. Especially wives talking to their husbands, sometimes we're not perfect, but, just kidding. Anyways, that's all I got for today. Thanks, guys. I will, next week is Lauren Awards? No, we just did that last week. I don't remember what next week is. I'll figure it out for you. But we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Hopefully it snows a bunch tonight, and we can all throw snowballs at our kids and have fun.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
You're slacking or what?
Play some music.